Hey, supers, welcome back to another Entrepreneurs. It has been a long time since I've gotten to go through and do some Entrepreneurs. So let's jump into three stories that I found interesting, kind of related to each other in some way, shape, or form. So first, apparently California passed on Labor Day a new law that's meant to give fast food workers more money, and apparently it's expected. Apparently, many are estimating that it's going to give up to $22 per hour to fast food workers that in 2023 with an anticipated 3.5% increase each year until 2029. And many fast food workers are nothing short of thrilled. But of course, when there are people thrilled, there's people that are not. So there's a new coalition of restaurant industry advocates uh, that they basically are banding together to fight this, to not enable that to happen. Now, now it has passed into law. So the problem here I see is, look, most people would agree, even people that eat fast food. I eat fast food from time to time. That fast food is really not that good for you. But I do think that if the pandemic has shown us anything, it's the willingness to just raise prices regardless. Chipotle has been caught a number of times just raising their prices without any reason, any part of their resources being tampered with. Just flat out saying, "Hey, well, people are willing to pay 30 cents more, 50 cents more, a dollar more. We'll just keep raising the price. Why not?" Right? So I think that this could shake up the fast food industry as a whole, maybe for the best. Maybe it's not such a good thing that we can go and buy burgers for a dollar. Just maybe, right? I mean, you got to sell a lot of dollar burgers to pay a $22 hour living wage, or quote unquote living wage, whatever living wage is at the time in which the place that we are talking about is. So I think that it kind of there's some give and take there, and I think that ultimately it may wind up seeing some companies saying, okay, we'll try to push the price up. Ooh, yeah, no, we're not selling as much because we're not able to sell to as many people. Maybe they pull back, maybe they hire less people, or maybe it just starts up the race to get more robots into the fast food and food industry, which is quite possible. I don't really want to necessarily see that, because I like to see people be able to do work and be able to make a livable wage. Of course, the counter argument that as well, fast food, isn't supposed to be, it's supposed to be your first job, not your living job for your career, unless you say advance up through the ranks of, say, a corporate ladder of like McDonald's or something. So, which there's plenty of people, there are examples of that, but I would say by and large, the amount of people that are working at a McDonald's versus the amount of people that are able to climb that corporate ladder is very significantly different. So, while I applaud California for trying to do something, ultimately it could also just inflate prices even more in that area because more people have more money to spend. And of course, other people in other industries will be like, hey, look, I could go flip burgers for $22 an hour. Why not? Why am I doing all this and doing harder labor or other jobs in the process, which just pushes everything up? And not that I think wage stagnation isn't a problem, because it definitely, I mean, the charts have shown me anything. It is a problem. But you also want to kind of maintain a certain level of growth over time, controlled growth rather than growth all at once. So we will be watching this and see how things play out in the next couple of months here. Uh, so this article came up. Who the heck am I tipping? Customer calls out iPad tipping at Crumble Cookies after there was no employee at the cash register to tip. Well, the tips, according to, I believe, one of the people working there, is split amongst all the workers, which is exactly what I would assume. Of course, it was on TikTok, because why not? Why it not, why wouldn't it be on TikTok at this point? Tips are for people making worth less than minimum wage, according to a third of a viewer of the TikTok wrote. Look, I tipping is tough, right? Especially when you're talking about in the fast food industry. I don't I don't love the fact that we have to do tips. I think tips should be above and beyond. And I think that tipping has kind of gone way past that. And I definitely don't love the fact that, when I go to a restaurant, it's up to me to pay part of that person's living wage directly rather than it being on the business itself. And part of the counter argument is, oh, well, food costs would go through the roof and blah 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 blah. But I don't know. There's so many restaurants out there that are, you could say all that, but at the same time, don't take care of their front end. They don't take care of how the business looks. They don't take care of their technology. So like when I go to a restaurant, I got to do math after the bill. When the bill gets there, because there's 8 of us at the table, and you couldn't split up the bill. Like that's a problem. Like why? Why? Because you didn't invest in the technology, so that falls on my lap. This is 2022, man. The credit cards are a thing. Apple Pay is a thing. It's terrible I think, to make customers have to do math after the fact. So that's a side rant, but yeah, I think that having a tip jar. I mean, you see it at ice cream places and stuff. It's just it's a way of life, but I really would love to see that not be the case. Finally, Chipotle puts a stop in the third fast food thing or food related thing. Chipotle puts a stop to TikTok's $3 burrito hack. So basically, if you ordered from the app, you could order a taco, and then order every item that they have, all of the toppings that would go, or all the meat and the everything that would go inside of that taco, that $3 taco, as side orders for free. So because Chipotle loves to make it so you're not paying extra for this or that, and not necessarily nickel and diming you. Though, as we just talked about earlier, they've raised prices without any much reason. And now that people have exploited it, and shown it on TikTok, and it kind of blew up, they don't want people doing a $4 burrito, not just because of that, but because you had so many cups, so many, that you have to put the stuff into. It just takes time. It slows the line down. I get all of that. And maybe the way Chipotle could handle this, other than just getting rid of that option, the single taco option from the app, seems to me like they should have limited it in a different way. Maybe limit how many side cups you could get, to 1 or 2, or something, or 3. I'm sure they would come up with a problem. But I think at the end of the day, the best thing for Chipotle to do is come up with something else. Come up with like, yeah, we took this away, but like now we're gonna offer this instead, or maybe not announce it and just kind of slip it in there so that people can find another hack, because people love fast food hacks. Anyway, I love the fact that you reached the end of this video. I'll see you in one of these 2 videos over here. Take care. Go be super.